When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
The Titans will kick it off left to right with their wind to their backs. Pioneers sending back to receive today's opening kickoff. Drummer inside his 15, along with Aaron Frost. Frost also doubles as a split end linebacker. This afternoon's Gridiron Clash is brought to you by Cleveland Clinic. Ohio's #1 orthopedic care is here for you in Lorain County. Call 440-204-7800 for your appointment. And we've got a decent crowd on hand considering the weather. The Elyria side of the new stadium here, maybe about half full. 2/3 of those folks are with umbrellas and the rest they're in rain protective gear. I didn't see a raincoat on our Matt Lodi down there. Does Matt have any kind of rain gear tonight?
He's got no rain gear
today.
He's got a jacket on, but no rain gear.
For the Lorain Titans, Mark Rodriguez, the junior kicker, is about to put his foot into it, and we are underway. He bounces this along the surface of the turf here at Ely Stadium, and the Pioneers field it at their own 35-yard line, where they will start the game's first offensive possession, 1st and 10 from the spot of the football. So the Pioneers will start offensively here.
Pioneers take over 1st and 10.
Jermail Nolan, the quarterback.
I was going to say, you may have heard Tim Alcorn lament the jerseys of Elyria. They look really good from about 15, 20 feet away, but to try and read those numbers all the way across the football field is a little bit challenging. They've got those black jerseys, as Z said, red numbers, and then white outlines around those, and it kind of makes it difficult across the field to see those numbers sometimes.
Pioneers on an offset I will pass on the game's first play, but then the quarterback tucks it away and runs with it. Trying to turn the corner for the Pioneers is Nolan. He runs into a hard tackle at the 40, driven down there. Nate Melendez, one of the first Titans, right there at the spot of the football. Well, you know, you haven't lived, Gary, until you've done a Highland game in the rain. The Highland Hornets with those black uniforms and Kelly green numerals. I know for years they drove Rob Polinsky and I nuts. At least we have sunlight today. It's an afternoon affair with our 2 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I can imagine once they start to get all muddy, you can't read them at all.
Oh, it was over, Gary, after the first series.
We won't have to worry about mud here today, that's for sure.
Nope. 2nd down and 4 for the Pioneers. Play action. Quarterback will keep it once again for Elyria. Nolan carries for maybe a half a yard. They'll spot it just near the 41 of the Pioneers. Very important 3rd and 3 here on the game opening series. Elyria has it at their own 41. No score, first quarter, 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go. That bright new scoreboard here at Ely Stadium.
I got to say, Z, I think this would be huge for the Pioneers to just get a first down here, get a little momentum going. If they can get this first down and move the ball a little bit and play a little bit of that field position game.
Aaron Frost brings the play into the Pioneer huddle. Elyria will line it up. Lorain with a 3-man front. Linebackers cheating up. In motion for the Pioneers is Drummer. Again, an offset I. Lorain showing signs of blitz. And they're going to come across. The Pioneers want to pass, looking to air it out is Nolan. He throws, dumps it off to the short receiver. Incomplete, and he got popped at the 45. But we're going to have a penalty marker down right where the quarterback for Elyria got outside the pocket at the 39.
4th down and 4 for the Pioneers.
So I'm guessing if that's against Elyria, head coach Dave McFarland and his staff will refuse it. Some of the Pioneers, though, in their huddle are saying it's against Lorain. If it is, it's going to be an automatic first down. Clock stop with 10.5 to go here.
Personal foul against Lorain. Roughing the quarterback, I'm imagining.
That's a big penalty there early on. And Lorain had Elyria bottled up on this opening series, but the penalty gives Elyria an automatic first down. We'll move the chains.
15-yard penalty.
1st and 10, Elyria now in Lorain territory at the 44 of the Titans. Lorain's defense anchored in the middle with nose tackle Isaiah McDowell, a senior, 215 pounds. The defensive ends on each side of him are Melendez and McCall. Pioneers will snap it. 1st and 10 at the Lorain 44. Nolan fakes the dive handoff. He's hit in the backfield, stood up, and thrown down for a 3 to 4 yard loss. Lorain Titans everywhere just crashed in around center and guard and brought him down right away. Kelvin Torres, the senior, 5'11", 228, one of the first guys to get around the quarterback.
Yeah, the running back came from the right-hand side, and he faked it as he was going to the left and took the ball right up the gut, right into the heart of the Titans defense. They weren't having any of it and stuffed him there for a 2-yard loss.
The Titans defense, Gary, has looked sharp here on the game's opening possession by Elyria. Inside 10 minutes ago in the first quarter, no score, Pioneer football. Elyria again will go topside. Screen pass by Nolan. He swings it out into the flat over the head of Atkinson, incomplete. And even if he had caught that, though, Lorain had great coverage. Drifting over that way was Javon Manning, the sophomore defensive back. I think he was in a position where he would have got the receiver for little or no gain had he completed that ball anyway.
I'll tell you what, Z, I thought that was a lateral.
Oh, really?
I thought that was a live football right there, and they blew it. The officials blew it dead, and no harm, no foul for Elyria, but there was nobody going over there to cover it, and that's a cardinal sin if you don't cover that football if you think it might be live.
Head coach Sean Arno in his second year of the Elyria Pioneers. 1-9 a year ago, the Pioneers were. It's a big third down play. Second time on this series. Pioneers have to pick up 13 yards for the first. The pass by Nolan is dumped off to the short receiver, incomplete out of the hands of Jackson. You know, he threw it a little bit behind him.
On the coverage for the Titans, number 51,
So
Torres. Brings up a 4th down 13.
This will be 4th down and 13 for Elyria, and they'll have to punt the ball away. So Jermel Nolan, the senior, throws a pretty decent spiral, but again, we don't know how much the light rain or that wind may be affecting him.
Well, Elyria moved the football a little bit. The biggest chunk of that was on a 15-yard roughing penalty, but they got across the 50 on their first possession.
Lighty back to receive the kick, which is punted high into the air, then takes a Pioneer bounce. Lighty picks it up at the 15. Lighty to the 20. Lighty up to the 27, near the Titans' 30-yard line, before being knocked down there by Tyron Lee of the Pioneers on punt coverage. That ball hung in the air almost as high as we are in the press box above the stadium. And then he fooled everybody. It took a Pioneer roll, and he just picked it up and ran it.
Well, it initially bounced about 10 yards in front of Lighty, and he let it bounce wisely. And, well, when he wasn't sure if he could field it or not, I'm sure the wind's moving that ball around a lot, so let it fall. But then the Pioneers didn't come in closer to cover it once the ball had come to the ground, so he just picked it up and picked up about 10, 12 yards.
Jordan Jackson, the quarterback for Lorain, will turn and give. And the running back, Dalen Dower, gets to the line of scrimmage, but then quickly the hole is shut down, and the Pioneers throwing backwards, but got a little gain on it. Good job by Elyria's Tatum Powers, the senior from his linebacker spot, 170-pounder, shot up, filled the hole, and hit Dowers, actually throwing him back for a loss of 2. I thought he might have got a yard on forward progress, but I guess not.
Not according to those yard markers, Z.
No. First down, 8:57 and counting in the game's opening quarter. No score between the Pioneers and Titans. Lorain wants to pass. The quarterback for Lorain has nowhere to go with the ball, then takes off underfoot, and is finally corralled near the 33-yard line. Inbound stop again made by Powers of Elyria defensively. Powers is really doing the job early on for the Elyria D.
And a pickup of about 6 yards by Jackson there.
Sets up a 3rd and 5 for the Titans. A line of scrimmage at their own 34. Lorain with their first offensive series of the game. Unloading the screen is the quarterback, and he throws it incomplete. In and out of the hands of Zach Evans. Now, Evans has great size as a receiver at 6'4", but even that pass was over his outstretched arms. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 8:12 to go in quarter number 1. So it looks like both teams are going to trade punts here on their opening series. For Lorain, the punter is Jackson. No, he's going to take a direct snap, get the first down up to the 40, cuts back at the 45, and the Titans go for it on 4th down and get it almost to midfield.
And that was Dalen Dower taking that direct snap and taking it up the field.
48-yard line.
Dalen Dower with a big carry. After this play, we'll go down to Matt Lodi on the sidelines here. Jackson will turn and gives the ball to Dalen Dower again, and the big back has a lot of room inside the Pioneer 40. Runs downfield to the 42, tackled around the 40-yard line. Another first down for the Titans. Here's Matt Lodi.
You could sense there's very little emotion right now on this Elyria sideline, Z. It seems like Lorain, great time to call that fake punt, as obviously they saw an opening right there, and Dave McFarland and company said, let's go for it, and they get the first down.
Matt Lodi's sideline report brought to you by Stewart's TV and Appliance. Lorain keeping it on the ground. Another huge hole for the Lorain running back. So moving the chains on one snap for Lorain that time, finds themselves at the 30-yard line of Elyria, no huddle. Jackson looks over, makes sure his receivers are set. Here's the snap, and he'll hand it off to Savon Chavis. Chavis with another hole between guard and tackle. Big hitting play down to the Elyria 20. Inside that, near the 19. No huddle offense again by the Titans. They're marching towards the Pioneer end zone. Jackson is flanked by a pair of running backs. Keeps it on the quarterback option. Pitches to the outside. Dower cuts it to the 5. He's near the pylon, and he's tackled out of bounds right at the goal line, but there is a penalty marker at the 7. And that may be a holding call against Lorain, but let's wait and see what the officiating crew has in store for us. Stops play with 7:14 left here in the first quarter. No score between the Titans and the Pioneers, and indeed they'll step it off against Lorain all the way to the 16-yard line of Elyria.
Tell you what, Z, up until that play, Lorain had 4 plays in a row where they 4 consecutive first down plays. 15, 12, 11, and 11.
Well, and that no-huddle offense seems to be turning the trick for the Titans. Here they come up to the line of scrimmage. Looking now at a first and about 7 from the Elyria 16-yard line. Dower to the left of Jackson, the quarterback, who stands 6 yards deep to take the long snap. Elyria comes with a pressure, and the handoff is going to go to Dower. Dower cuts his way towards right tackle down to the Elyria 10-yard line. The running game of Lorain is just chewing up yardage in this series.
Ball placed at the 10-yard line.
2nd and 1 from the 10 of Elyria for the Lorain offense. Quarterback keeper on the fake dive, big hole at the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown Titans and Jordan Jackson. Nobody got a hand on him, and that fake dive handoff turned the trick as it froze the Pioneer defense. And Lorain strikes first with 6:46 to go in our opening quarter to take an early 6-0 lead.
Wow, big series right there for the Titans. It took a little bit for their offense to get underway, but once they finally did on that fake punt, they moved that football right down the field, that final 50 yards, and got the first score of the ball game, Z.
Our place kicker for the Titans, Mark Rodriguez, is set for the point after. Snap is down, and the kick is a bullet right into the backs of the linemen. No good, so the point after fails, and Lorain will kick it off with a 6-0 lead, and we're going to come right back here to Ely Stadium after these words. You're listening to the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash today
on WEOL.com.
We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at Marines.com.
Lorain just marched downfield against the Pioneers on 9 plays, covering 71 yards to jump out to an early 6-0 lead here at Ely Stadium.
And in that drive, Z, they had plays of 15, 12, 11, 11, 6, and 10.
Wow.
And that's not all the plays, but those were the big ones.
That's magnificent as far as usage of play calling. Frost and Drummer back for Elyria, and Lorain is going to try a short kick. The Pioneers covered up right at midfield, and I got to give kudos to Elyria's Ben Dewar on that.
Pioneers take over.
Did a nice job of snagging
Wow.
that ball. He was right in the front row.
He didn't try to pick it up and run like you see some high school players have a tendency to do. I think those are the guys, though, that watch a little too much Sports Center.
Pioneers.
Elyria now.
Well, when you're on that kickoff return team, your job is, especially if you're in the front row, just if that ball's on the ground, just cover it up.
Elyria's going to run out onto the field now with another chance. Good field position at the 49 of their own. Far right hash mark. And they trail Lorain 6-0 with 6:46 here in the first quarter. Here's a handoff to the first back up there. Atkinson, the sophomore. Lorain just filled every single hole. And the Titans right now defensively are just negating everything Elyria's trying to do blocking-wise.
Well, the Elyria Pioneers spread out their offense. They had two receivers out to the right side, two out there to the left, and a single back in the backfield. But they have not really shown that they can throw the football a lot. So the Titans right now are just kind of waiting to see what's coming up the middle.
Pioneers faced with a 2nd and 10. Dive on the counter. And once more, getting his number called is Atkinson, the sophomore.
Tackle made by number 32.
No gain, maybe a yard or two. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, they're going to give him 2 yards on that.
Third down and 8.
So the nose of the football in Lorain territory, just shy of the 49 of the Titans. Elyria with their second offensive series of the opening quarter, trailing Lorain 6-0 here with 5:46 and the game clock counting down. Elyria not getting a lot going offensively on any of the plays they've tried to run against Lorain here early on.
Well, if you want a positive spin on it, this is the second drive in a row they've gotten over the 50.
Lorain will actually throw everybody at the quarterback, and he'll dump it off over here to Drummer. Drummer makes a reception at the 50, breaks the tackle of McCall, but then gets brought down at the 47-yard line of Lorain. Excellent pursuit by the secondary coming up to close out the play. That's going to be good enough to hold Elyria on downs, and the Pioneers will punt it back to the Titans. The Elyria kicker, Isaiah Thomas, a senior. He'll receive the snap here at his own 39. Back deep for the Titans is Lighty. He's always exciting to watch when he gets his hands on the ball. His punt will angle towards the 15, bounce there. Lighty will take it at his own 10, break a tackle at the 11. Dances over another would-be Pioneer tackler at the 13, but then terrific pursuit filling the lanes by the Pioneers on punt coverage, bring him down after a short gain of less than 5 yards.
Yeah, he did a lot of moving, a lot of dancing, but most of it was from right to left and left to right. And if he was trying to eat the clock up, that would have been a good move, but didn't move it down the field very much.
Today's Gridiron Clash is brought to you by Cleveland Clinic, offering same-day sports injury appointments in Lorain County. To get back in the game, call 440-204-7800. Jordan Jackson again taking the deep snap, long count. And Lorain will keep it on the ground. Running ahead for a couple of yards are the Titans. Getting his number called that time was Chavis, the junior, 6'1", 227.
Number 32, Savon Chavis, the ball carrier.
Up front for Elyria. They're going to flip-flop the tackles. Their Pioneers going with a 4-3 look. And Lorain wants to counter it to the long side of the field. Aaron Frost takes the handoff up to the 20, Frost to the 25, and tackled out of bounds near the Titans' 30-yard line. Chasing him out there was Noah France, the senior for the Pioneers.
That's going to be enough for a Titan first down. Moving the chains once again.
Lorain just seems to be running what they want at will right now.
16-yard pickup ball that time.
Jackson gives the ball, and again, Chavis bowls his way ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards. First Pioneer on the point of attack was Tyron Lee, the junior, 6'6", 235 pounds. Ben Dorr also there to finish the play off. Slot left for the Titans is Lighty. Lorain goes with 3 wide receivers. And the Titans will look to air it out. The ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Jackson tried to throw that ball over the middle. Elyria did a good job of clogging up the lanes, and the front, a good job of getting their hands up in the face of the passer.
I believe that was the first actual passing attempt by the Titans this afternoon.
That incompletion will stop play with 3:12 to go. The huddle clock at 19, 18, and counting down. 3rd down and 7 for the Titans. Here's a razzle-dazzle reverse. The ball gets flipped to Leidy. He'll turn the line of scrimmage at the 30, has a lot of room to the 40. Leidy the 45. Leidy cutting it back across midfield to the Pioneer 49-yard line. 27, 28 yards on that end-around reverse by Leidy. And man, when he gets his hands on the football, Pelt, he's quick.
He is quick. He moved that football right down the field a little bit, like you said, a little razzle-dazzle, flipped it out to him. He took it around that left end and picked up the first down and more.
Dalen Dower now, the big back at the 45. Huge hold of the Pioneer 40, knocking tacklers out of the way, advancing it all the way near the Elyria 35. Dower is a tough guy to bring down. Another first down for Lorain, and they're marching once more towards that south end zone. Already ahead, 6-0. Chavis off left tackle, the big back spinning and twirling his way free from would-be Pioneer tacklers, eventually thrown down at the Elyria 30. A gain of almost 7 on first down by the Lorain offense there.
Ball placed at the Pioneer 30-yard line. 2nd down.
Dalen Dower goes off to the Lorain sideline to get a rest. Lorain lines it up. 10 seconds left on the play clock. And Jackson's going to try to use as much of that as possible. Titans again keeping it on the ground. Leidy carried it that time between guard and tackle. Inside 2 minutes to go. Lorain up 6-0 with 1:53 remaining here in the first quarter. Pioneers now again with a 4-3 look. Secondary playing up a little closer than normal. Here's a pitch to the right side. Chavis takes the ball at the 25 to the 20. Chavis, he's actually looking to pick up blocking. There was so much room to run. Wrestled out around the 11, maybe the 12. They'll back it up a yard when they spot it. He got out to the corner so quickly, Pelt. He was actually waiting for blockers because I don't think he could believe the daylight that he saw once he got to the outside.
Yeah, there was a lot of room in front of him to pick up.
Dower's back into the game. He'll stand to the left of Jackson. Chavis to the quarterback's right. Here's a option pitch out to Dower. Breaks a Pioneer tackle at the 15 and then runs into trouble at the 10 after a gain of 2.
Looked like he found a little slippery spot on that turf out there. Trying to make that quick cut, go upfield, and slip down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8, 2nd
Aguilar.
and 9, depending where they put that marker down.
Sorry
finally.
about that, Pelt. Aguilar did a good job of pursuing to make the hit. Chavis takes the handoff and runs into trouble right at the line of scrimmage. The Pioneers shut down the hole. Take your pick. A couple of Elyria players in on the stop. Michael Knapp was there along with Aguilar.
Referee's timeout.
The officials will stop play here with 1 minute and a second left.
Got to tighten down on the field.
Lorain in the red zone for the second time here in the ball game. We'll send it back for a quick station break with the Pioneers trailing 6-0 here at home and the Lorain Titans marching for what could be their second score of the opening quarter. This is the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash, and we're streaming live today.
Looked like 56.
On WEOL.com.
Ohio State is saving lives every day.
This is Ohio State.
We're the economic engine of the state. A major employer.
Over 60,000 students. We're on the forefront of cancer research. An educational core of Ohio.
Impacting tens of thousands daily.
Our alumni organization is nearly 500,000 worldwide.
This is Ohio State.
This is Ohio State.
Ohio State.
This is the Ohio State University.
The Titans line it up around their center, Jacob Addis. As the injured player for Lorain is helped off the field. Lorain here, 3rd and 10, wants to pass towards the end zone, incomplete at the 2. Making a throw low and at the feet of Leidy was Jordan Jackson. But we have a penalty against the Lorain offense that's going to back it up. So they were looking at 3rd and 10. from the Pioneer 12. And this is probably going to be at least a 10-yarder, so I think we're going to redo third down, looking at maybe a 3rd and 22. Let's wait and see. And in the meantime, Matt Lodi has a report for us.
Okay, thanks, Z. It's getting a little worse weather-wise down here now. The rain is starting to fall a little bit more consistently and a little harder. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, we talked about it in the pregame: the turnovers, the ball slipping out of quarterbacks' hands and running backs' hands. So far in this one, hasn't been much of an effect yet. But again, as this rain gets worse, it could end up being something of a detriment to both teams.
That injured player that limped off the field a moment ago for Lorain was Jaheim Lusain. Elyria refuses the penalty, sets up a 4th and 10 for Lorain, and the Pioneers are going to put about 9 guys up into the box. 6 seconds on the play clock. The Lorain quarterback throws to a wide open man at the 10, making the grab is Evans, and he's tackled right there by the Pioneers' Adrian Martin, and that stops the Lorain drive. So a swing pass to the sideline is thwarted by the Pioneer defense. So finally, Elyria gets something positive to talk about on that sideline.
Yeah, Lorain, I think they went out there. Evans was isolated all by himself, wide out there to the right. I think they thought they got it, get it to him and see what he can do one-on-one. And credit the Elyria Pioneer defense. They came up with that big play defensively and kept the Titans out of the end zone.
Matt Lodi's sideline report was brought to you by Stewart's TV and Appliance. Elyria with 5 wide receivers with their backs against their own end zone. They're going to give it on the end-around sweep to Drummer. Drummer has some daylight, turns the corner at the 15, and tripped up near the 20-yard line, very close to a Pioneer first down. 35 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. The Pioneers trail 6-0.
They're going to give them the first down.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Elyria breaks the huddle. Split in here to the near side is Jesse Stevens for Elyria. Pioneer quarterback calling the signals, hands the ball off, and trying to get outside is Atkinson. Atkinson breaks free at the 20 and then bowls his way past the 25 and steams his roll way all the way up to the 27. Nice first down carry, and that will do it after 1 quarter of play. Elyria has the football, trailing Lorain 6-0, but let's see if Elyria can sustain this drive when we come back to Ely Stadium on the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash. And we're streaming live today at WEOL.com.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Coming out of the timeout as we switched ends to signal the start of the second quarter. Elyria now will work left to right. It's a keeper by the quarterback, Nolan, and he's dropped for a loss of a couple of yards. This Lorain Titan defense has done a stellar job of shutting down Elyria has tried to do. Malik McCall, the outside linebacker, 6'1", 220 senior with a nifty stop there, Pelt.
This is the third possession for Elyria. They have thus far only 2 first downs. The first one came on the first drive on a penalty, and they had one earlier in this drive, and they're struggling a little bit on offense. Right now I'm going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 from their own 23-yard line.
Cool, wet, and windy describes our weather here at Ely Stadium. 3rd down play and long. Elyria goes topside. Nolan unloads all the way down the left sideline. It's batted down at the Titans' 40-yard line. Terrific coverage there by Lorain's Cameron Davis. The intended receiver for the Pioneers was Aaron Frost, the senior. That time the quarterback had the wind to his back and still couldn't complete it.
I was going to say it looked like it had a possibility of being completed out there, but I don't know how much wind was blowing that ball around up in the air. It's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Pioneers here, backed up on their own 22-yard line.
They're going to punt it away. Isaiah Thomas inside his 10. And the wind kicking up and the rain really swirling. It's going to take a Pioneer bounce, but get fielded by Leidy at the Lorain 40. Leidy bounces to the outside 40, 50, into Elyria territory to the 30. He's going to go all the way. Leidy, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Lorain Titans, a 60-yard kick return on the punt by Lorain. And wait a minute, we always have to survey for flags on a run like that, and we've got them. We don't want to disappoint you here. A pair of flags right at the Elyria 37 where he broke free into daylight, and I think they're going to bring this back.
And Elyria is going to breathe a sigh of relief right there.
Leidy turned the corner.
Because it looked for a second like Leidy had put up the second score of the ball game for the Titans.
Elyria defensively this year is led in tackles by Michael Knapp. His name has been kind of quiet today. I've not really called him too many times. Ben Dorr, he also is one of the top hitters for the Pioneers defensively this year.
That's going to take the ball all the way back to the Lorain 48-yard line.
Personal foul against the Titans on the punt return. So Lorain has it. They've got to go 52 yards to get it into the north end zone. Our temperature now in the low 60s, but with the wind and the rain, makes it a very chilly afternoon. Stark contrast compared to the heat we had earlier in the week. Lorain wants to pass. Into the wind, they'll throw downfield, and the quarterback overshooting his man right around the 32-yard line, and he was trying to get it out into the hands of Cario Edwards, 5'10" receiver, senior for Lorain. One of the better passes Jordan Jackson has thrown in the ball game into the wind, but just a little too much juice on that.
Well, he hasn't thrown many, only a couple thus far in the ball game, Z. But yeah, he had Edwards running that post pattern, and he had a step. Pass was just a little too far.
Titans keeping it on the ground, and they'll get thrown for a loss. Dower wrapped up there by the Pioneers' Tim Kenska. He's a junior, 6 foot 225. Didn't start the game defensively, but right now I'd have to say Coach Sean Arno, he's looking for anyone that he might be able to bring out there to get a stop on these backs of Lorain.
Well, I'll tell you what, the second half of that last drive and early on here in this drive, the Elyria defense is found their stride.
Handoff. Dalen Dower has a lot of room down the right sideline, deep into Pioneer territory to the 30, Dower to the 25, and finally tackled out of bounds around the 19. And things are getting a little frisky at the end of the play as he unpiled down there. No flags, but the chain gang will sprint to keep up with this no-huddle look that the Titans are sporting right now in the red zone of Elyria at the 19. First and 10 Titans deep in Elyria territory. Lorain's size and speed taking its toll against Elyria early. Screen pass dumped off. Edwards makes the catch for Lorain at the 19 and wrapped up after a couple of yards after the catch at the Pioneer 15-yard line. On the hit for Elyria, Adrian Martin. France gets the assist. Lorain deep in Pioneer territory, leading 6-0, 9:29. Clock running. The huddle clock gets 16 and counting down. Jordan Jackson, the junior quarterback for the Titans, takes the snap in the shotgun, drops back to pass, looks, throws, and out of the back of the end zone, trying to get it in the vicinity of Zach Evans. But I think maybe he just felt he needed to get rid of that ball. Evans ran a bit of a shallow route in that end zone.
Yeah, I think he felt the pressure right there from the Elyria defense and just wanted to get rid of it. He threw it in Evans' direction, but it didn't seem like there was any way Evans was going to get that. Evans is tall, but not that tall.
6'4", 215 the senior goes, that Pelt just mentioned. Here's the pitch, and it's Chavis taking the ball. Cutting it outside to the 10, Chavis to the 5, dragging Pioneers inside that yard line, down near the 3. So we're looking at first and goal Lorain. Up by a touchdown, looking to maybe make that advantage a 2-score lead if they can punch it in here. But we're going to back this up as another penalty against Lorain. This one holding
Lorain
is going to put them further away from the end zone. And you know, Dave McFarland talked about that a little bit in our pregame show, you know, that they're young and they're still making mistakes, this Lorain football team is. Titans line it up quick. Chavis stays in the game. He'll stand to the right of the quarterback, Jackson. Twin receivers in the slot to the short side of the field. One of those is Leidy. Here goes Lorain throwing downfield into the end zone. Leidy through his fingertips, incomplete on a post pattern. Double coverage. Batting that ball down for Elyria. Man of the moment anyway was Ty Allgood, the senior.
It looked like Leidy had it there. That was a nice pass, got in there, but couldn't hang on to it.
Stops play with 8:44 to go here in the first half. Still a long time until we get to hot dog and popcorn time.
We've got a little break in the action. We've got a Pioneer down in the end zone.
Let's check in with Matt Lodi if he's available, get his thoughts on how things are. I know the last time I think we spied on you down there, Matt, you were maybe on the Elyria sideline.
Yeah, I'm actually still over here at this moment, Z. I'll go over to Lorain in the second half. You know, the one mention that you moment ago, or that thing you guys mentioned a moment ago about the penalties, you know, this is 2 consecutive drives where Lorain deep in Elyria territory and have been unable to convert due to penalties. I mean, obviously, the punt return got brought back, but that obviously was a penalty that almost you have to make just because the way he turned the corner, you could see it coming. But on this drive, they had an opportunity. They would have had a 1st and goal at about the 4-yard line on that nice run by Dowd on 3rd down, but unfortunately that penalty cost them. And now you're looking at a 4th down situation here, and you wonder what they're going to do. They're hurting themselves right now. Dave McFarland's certainly going to have something to say about that at halftime.
That insightful report by Matt Lodi down on the field, brought to you by Stewart's TV and Appliance. All right, here we go. Lorain 4th and 7 from the Elyria 17-yard line. The Titans throwing again, and they'll complete the pass down at the Pioneers 7-yard line. Again, going to Zach Evans. This time he got the ball, and the big 6'4 receiver hauls it in. Good enough for a Lorain High School Titans first down. Lorain getting up to the line of scrimmage. Elyria getting organized on defense. Here go the Titans. Jackson looks up at the play clock, then begins his cadence, and he'll hand it off to Dower, and Dower crashes across the 5 to the 4-yard line, brought down by the Pioneers' Tim Kenska. It's the second time we've called his name in the quarter to make a hit. 8:16 to go in the half. Lorain nursing a 6-zip lead over the Pioneers, looking to add to that here now on this drive. Chavis, the fullback, hit at the 5, breaks loose, tumbles down to the 2. That time, Elyria's Luis Aguilar had him right at the point of attack, right at the line of scrimmage, and then just the power in those legs of Chavis broke free and got a couple of yards after the initial hit.
Chavis is a solid back as far as moving that ball forward even after he gets hit that 1st or 2nd time.
And we're going to have a timeout taken by the Lorain Titans. Gives us a chance to send it back to Studio Central for a brief word as you're listening to the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash. Streaming live today, Pelt,
on WEOL.com.
More after this.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important to anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
Lorain knocking on the Pioneer front door for the 2nd time here in the ball game. Up by a touchdown. Maybe 2 here if they can get it in. It's 3rd and goal, though, from the Elyria 2-yard line. Under center, and it's going to be the quarterback who fumbles in the end zone. The ball is loose, and it's a touchdown, Titans. It's academic, though. Leidy picked up the loose ball. The quarterback was hit at the line of scrimmage, Jackson, Then he tumbled into the end zone and lost the handle on the football.
I think they were ruling that Jackson was over the goal line before he lost the football.
So officially then, I'm going to take your word there, Gary, and we'll make that a 2-yard run by the quarterback. His second score of the ball game for Lorain High. This one coming in quarter number 2, 7:35 to play. So it was the midway point of the first quarter. Jackson ran it in from 10 on a keeper. This time, under center, just running behind guard and tackle, got it into the end zone. Lorain will set up for the 2-point conversion on our left-hand side. We'll snap it from the 3-yard line at the near left hash mark. Titans looking to go for 2. Pump fake, passing into the end zone is Jackson, and right through the hands of Devontae Jackson. So Jackson had it in his hands. I think that might have been a case of wet football syndrome. He only had to reach above his head a little bit, couldn't haul it in. So the score now is Lorain 12, Elyria nothing. On what's turned into a rainy, cool, windy Saturday afternoon affair here from Elyria, Ohio. I'm Z Zoltai with Gary Pelter and Matt Lodi. On-site engineer Jared Kosar, who's done a great job not only getting us set up, but tweeting to everybody on the internet with our Twitter feed right now. Of course, back at Command Central is Steve Bailey. And our kickoff by the Titans is being brought to you by Echo Tree Services. Echo Tree Services, as Lorain for the second time today, kicking it off. Now, it's not do or die time yet. We're still midway through the second quarter here, Gary, but Elyria has to find a sequence of plays that are going to work.
Well, this is actually the third time they've kicked off, because they kicked off the opening kickoff and it squibbled about 12 yards. Yeah. The last one went directly to an up man. Let's see where this goes.
Rodriguez sends this one a little deep inside the 20 to the Pioneer 19-yard line. Grabbing that ball and taking it upfield is Drummer. Drummer to the 40, to the 45, 50. Drummer's going to go all the way to the end zone for a Pioneer touchdown, but I don't think so. We have a flag all the way back at the Elyria 34. Again, where he made the cut to get into the free part of the field and take off. Yeah, it's holding against the Pioneers. And you could hear everybody up here in the press box, Gary, just groan on that, because I think there wasn't a single person here that didn't believe that wasn't going to go against the return team of Elyria. Matt Lodi, you have something to share on that play, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a pretty obvious hold, and the officials are right on top of it. It looked like one of those situations where in order to get on the inside for Plummer, he had to get that block. And again, that's a tough situation, because obviously Elyria really could have used that big play there with 7:21 to go in the first half. Also, guys, I did talk to the official a moment ago about that last touchdown and asked him if the ball was actually fumbled and recovered by somebody else, or if Jackson did get across the line, and he confirmed with me that that touchdown was to the quarterback, Jackson, who did get across the line before the ball popped out. So credit Jackson now with 2 quarterback touchdown runs on the afternoon.
And Matt, how is the weather as far as its impact on play down there on the field?
It's getting more and more wet. Again, it's a consistent rain at this point, Z. It's not to the point where it's just to the point right now where the drizzle's getting a little harder as we go along.
Elyria on the option pitch goes to the short side of the field, gaining maybe 2 or 3, and we have a shoulder pad tackle there by Lorain. No flags. The ball carrier was Frost for the Pioneers. He gestured to the line judge, hey, where's the flag on that? And they just ignored him. Drummer now getting instructions from head coach Sean Arno on the Pioneer sideline. Picks up the play from coach and runs it into the huddle. That means somebody's got to come out, and for Elyria, Jesse Stevens, a sophomore, back out of the game. Also, Drummer is going to go back in. I think he might have worked on his chin strap. Second down play for the Pioneers. Rolling to his left is the quarterback. He throws over the middle and completes it. Aaron Frost catches the ball and got punished by the Titan defender after making that grab.
11, Aaron Frost.
just shy of the first down. Gain of about 8. Frost, if he had ran that route just a tad bit deeper, if he could have. So this is a manageable 3rd and 1 for the Pioneers at their own 33-yard line. Trailing 12-0 is Elyria. There's a counter handoff. Elyria tries to go off guard. Davion Drummer stopped for just enough for the first down, actually, Gary.
Yeah, I was going to say that was going to be a right foot, left foot spot, which way it was going to go for the first down, but the no need to measure that time. The officials just said, let's move the change. The Pioneers get the first down.
Frost and Drummer, the receivers, to the long side of the field, will snap it. And Elyria again will want to pass, and the ball incomplete near the 42. A little too much zip on that pass, and unable to hang on to it for the Pioneers was Adrian Martin.
I think Martin may have looked upfield a little bit. He had that ball in his hands and lost a little bit of concentration there.
That puts on tap here a 2nd and 10 for the Elyria offense. They need to get it all the way up to their own 45 to get the first down. Lorain in their navy pants, white jerseys, navy blue numerals, silver helmets on defense. Elyria trailing 12-0. Again, keeping it on the ground. On the sweep, Drummer hit hard at the line of scrimmage, tackled down. It looked like maybe inbounds. McCall and Smith along with Chavis there for Lorain.
I'm going to give him about 1 yard, bring up a 3rd down and 9 situation.
Pioneers football, moving left to right this possession. 5:20 to go in the first half. Lorain 12, Elyria nothing. In the 105th meeting of these two high schools. I know that Dover and New Philadelphia, they've been playing each other a lot in high school football for years. But I don't believe it's been as many times as these two high schools here that we have on the field today. So the Pioneers want to take a timeout. Your thoughts here on the first half so far, Pelt?
Well, I think so far the Titans have been moving the football. They've been kind of dominating offensively, but it doesn't show that much on the scoreboard. Granted, they're up 2 scores to none, 12-0 for the Titans, but the Elyria High Pioneers are literally one big play away from getting right back in this, and they almost had that big play right there on that kickoff return. And for a second, it seemed like they might get within that score, but it's still anybody's ball game right here now, Z.
Several years back, Lorain coach Dave McFarland said, you know, when he was a young man growing up in Oberlin, folks knew that the Elyria and Lorain rivalry was just a great rivalry between two terrific football programs. And he felt possibly one of the best in the state. And here now, years later, he finds himself the head coach of Lorain and a part of this renewed rivalry. Now this is going to be a tough 3rd and 9 for the Pioneers from their own 36. The quarterback for Elyria throws the ball. That is kind of a lateral screen out to Drummer, who catches the ball. Drummer then flips it back, and that play is going to go down. He changed directions, ran completely back the other way. It's going to go nowhere. In fact, he's going to lose maybe 3 yards. Yeah, it's about 3 yards he'll lose.
I think he was looking
team coming out.
He was looking to get a block there from Nolan, and
on a play like that, too, at least Elyria should be grateful there wasn't a holding call, because that's a lot of times where a lineman loses his man when your guy reverses directions like that.
They lose directions, and you got those hands in there gripping a little bit of jersey, and then it's obvious to see him pulling away.
The electrifying return man, Tayshawn Lighty for Lorain, standing back inside his 35, and he's just going to let this ball bounce out of bounds near the Lorain Titan 33. So a lot of time left here as Lorain gets their hands back on the football. 4:06 to go in the first half, and the Titans leading the Pioneers 12-0 here in this, the Lorain-Elyria Classic matchup, the rivalry. Lorain lost, by the way, a year ago, for those of you that were wondering how they finished up their campaign in 2017. Lorain lost to Toledo Whitmer in a close one, 31-28. So this is a playoff-tested Lorain team.
I think this is a huge possession right here for Elyria. Elyria really, with this last 4 minutes, they want to get back to that locker room only being down 12-0. They don't want Lorain to move that football.
Dower takes the pitch, went to his left, now reverses to his right and picks up a ton of real estate. Dower loose and running in the Elyria secondary up to the 45 and knocked down right around the 50 is where they'll spot it. Dower went to his left, and then all of a sudden Elyria did a great job of converging on him, and then he cut back and picked up a block of Youssef Alzir.
And that's a pickup of 15 and another first down. And with 3:48 to go here in the second quarter, Lorain's in business.
Chavis in the football game for Lorain. Also now we see Isaiah McDowell at fullback for the Titans. Lorain wants to air it out. The quarterback passing downfield, and Lighty is the intended receiver at the 30, incomplete, sails over his head all the way to the 20. So Jordan Jackson, for the second time today, tried to hook up on that fly pattern down the middle and again overshot his receiver. Clock stops with 3:29 to go. 10 yards to go for the Lorain offense. Right at midfield on the right hash mark, they'll snap the football. Leading 12-0 over Elyria. Procedure call against Lorain will back it up 5. Now I saw the center that time, Addis. He moved the football, but he didn't move the football on the false snap until after he heard the whistle. We could hear that all the way up here. So,
yeah, I don't know who they called that on. I did not see.
This now makes it 15 yards ago for the Lorain first down. Quarterback option pitch to Dower, who takes it at the 40, dragging a Pioneer at the 45, and then runs smack dab into Ty Allgood, who just bulldozes him there right near the original line of scrimmage where we started from. So the 5-yard penalty backed it up to 15 to go for the first down. That carry netted 4. So Lorain is still looking at a long 3rd and 11 to keep this series alive. Pioneers with a 4-man front. They're looking to go after the Lorain quarterback, who sets, has time, now wants to cut it back and run the football out of the pocket as a couple of Pioneers gave chase. And he'll go down for a gain of a couple, wrapped up by Michael Knapp.
I was going to say, he picked up about, looks like where they're going to put the ball, picked up about 5, so it's going to bring up a first down and 6 situation on the Elyria 46-yard line, and the Titans are going to go for it.
4th and 6 for Lorain. Again, Jordan Jackson wants to air it out. Now he tucks it away. The quarterback runs with it, and he'll be stopped 2 yards short of the first down. Brought down from behind. The Pioneers waited for him, stayed home, read the play nice. Ben Dorr, the junior linebacker, 6-foot, 180-pounder on the stop.
That time he had a little bit of room to run that football, but the Pioneers just kept him contained. Picked up 4 yards, but he needed 6 and turns the ball over on downs. Pioneers now with an opportunity going the other way with 2:14 in the second quarter of play.
Unofficially, by my tally, that's the 4th tackle on the day for Dorr. That gives him 32 this season. Lorain on defense. Elyria passing offensively. Downfield on the throw, and it's incomplete by the Pioneers. That ball just kind of sailed out of there and wobbling all the way in the vicinity of Jesse Stevens, the sophomore receiver. Covered there by the Titans, Javon Manning. Sophomore on sophomore that time. Stops play with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go before the half. Lorain 12, Elyria nothing on this, our Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash. I'm Z Zoltai with Gary Pelter, Matt Lodi, Jared Kosar here on site. Steve Bailey back at the station. Pioneers passing play. Here comes the Lorain pressure. The quarterback for Elyria in trouble. He decides to throw that ball out of bounds. It sails into the Pioneer bench. He was a man that looked like Freddy Krueger from Elm Street chasing him there. All he knew in his mind that time, Pelt, is I got to get rid of this ball.
That's right. He had one goal at that particular end of the play, to get rid of it, like you said, not take the loss.
And good discipline by the Lorain defense I mean, that's one of those close plays where maybe you might knock the quarterback down at the point of release, then you get called for unnecessary roughness.
3rd down and 10 for the Pioneers.
At their own 43, they'll snap it. Quarterback option, and play goes nowhere. Jermel Nolan is tackled after he slips and falls for a loss of a couple. 151 and the clock as Lorain's going to call timeout and stop play. I think they're definitely want to keep a little bit of time on this clock here as they're going to get the ball back. And they did defer to the second half, so they're going to start the third quarter with the kick, Lorain is.
Well, now I'm sure that Lorain has seen the films from the Avon Lake Elyria game where Avon Lake blocked 2 punts from Elyria. So you might think about sending somebody here right now, send that team and try and get a block punt and get yourself good field position. Or the other side of that coin is they've got some nice punt returns so far in the afternoon, and maybe try and get that punt return and set up something here with almost 2 minutes to go, 151.
I think the bigger caliber bullet on that call is to field this punt and let Lighty see what he can do with it. Because as you mentioned, Gary, they've done some good things on returns today against Elyria, that being the Lorain Titans. Pioneers now staring at 4th and 13. That ball is punted away and hits at the 35-yard line. Lighty picks it up at the 25 on the big bounce, but the Pioneers were ready for him. Noah France was right in his face on that high bounce, and as soon as Lighty caught that ball, France was right there to grab him by his jersey with the help of some teammates, and they hold him to no yards on that return.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that time France was not fooled at all. Lighty is a couple times now. He's let that ball bounce, and he's done a good job fielding it once, even off the bounce. It's come right up to him, but that time, once he fielded, France was having none of it. Had his hands right on that shoulder pad, grabbed him, and wrestled him to the ground.
Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we will catch both coaches coming and going off the field, respectively. Matt Lodi will be on the spot for that. Here's an end-around reverse on the pitch. It goes to Lighty. Lighty takes it deep in the backfield, cuts it to the 20. Lighty on his feet to the 25, 30. And upfield near the 35-yard line. Denzel Sykes, the junior for Elyria, finally knocked him down. But very elusive is Lighty. 5'10", 180. And he runs like he's 5'7", 135. He's that quick. So with his size and speed, very difficult to bring down. It's another Titans first down, by the way, all the way up to their own 35. Looking to distribute the football is Jackson. He throws down the right sideline, has Lighty. He catches it over the shoulder at the Pioneer 32 and runs out of bounds at the Elyria 29-yard line.
Now that was a nice throw and catch.
What a strike thrown by the quarterback, Jackson. And we have a player down on the field in the Lorain backfield. It looks like a Pioneer. So that will stop everything here with 1:10 to go in the half. Gives us an opportunity to bug our sideline guy, our field reporter once more, Matt Lodi. Matt?
Okay, Z, just a few moments ago I got a chance to watch a little, I wouldn't say an altercation per se, but a little bit of a heated discussion between head coach Sean Arno here on the Elyria sideline and his quarterback, Jameel Nolan, talking about the pitch plays. It looks like that Nolan clearly is not doing what the coach wants. He's pitching the ball a little bit too early, and the Lorain defense is all over it, really, and it's just not drawing the defense in before he pitches the football. So look for that here in the second half as the quarterback maybe holds the ball a little bit longer, tries to draw that defense in, and maybe tries to make that pitch a little more effective. I'm going to talk to Coach Arno here at the half and ask him about how his offense has performed. Obviously not good enough as they right now are looking at a shutout right now, down 12-0 with 1:12 to go in the half. Guys?
Matt, the report is brought to you by Stewart's TV and Appliance. Good job, Mr. Lodi, down there in the rain and the wind. So we'll find out what Coach Arno has to say at halftime. And you know, Sean's one of those guys that I think and I agree with you, Gary, he maybe has a bit of a hidden sense of humor about him. You don't know whether to take him serious or not. Chris Medaglia, when he was the head coach at Buckeye, was a lot like that, too.
I think the guys take him seriously, but once in a while he's got a little bit of tongue-in-cheek in there.
Tim Kenska, the junior, was the player hurt on last snap by Lorain.
And he's coming off with some help and favoring that left ankle.
Unable to put pressure on it. That's a huge loss for Elyria because Kenska was really playing a good game for them defensively. Dower breaks a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage. Dower makes his way to the sideline to the 10. He's not going to be denied. Dower, the running back for Lorain, spun down out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Another first down carry by Dower and company, and Lorain High is knocking on the door looking for their 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. The referees will switch footballs to dry that one off. Dry ball is spotted, and Lorain is going to snap it. 1st and goal from the Pioneer 8. Here's the give. The running back, Chavis, pulls his way in at the 3. Touchdown, Lorain. The Titans have just now made it a 3-score lead over Elyria here with 56 seconds to go in the first half.
And that is what the Pioneers did not want to happen. I said it, actually it was 2 possessions ago for the Titans. Just get out of the half, only down 12-0. That was with about 4 minutes or so to go in the first half, I should say. And the Titans put another one up there on the board, and right now it's 18-0 with the conversion pending.
Lorain wants to pass on the 2-pointer, and it's incomplete.
There's a flag down on the field, though.
We might do this again. Let's see. Zach Evans was the intended target on the 2-point conversion pass play.
I think somebody might have got a handful of Zach Evans' jersey out there before the ball was there.
He's a tough guy to try to contain. When you look at his size, 6'4", 216, he's got great balance, good speed for a player that size. You got to do whatever you can to try to gain an advantage if you're Elyria. We have offsetting infractions, which means we're going to snap this again. So this actually works in favor of the Titans. Up 18-zip, going for 2. Lighty now will go out into a wide receiver position. Chavis and Dower, the running backs, on each side of Jackson, the quarterback for Lorain. Jackson will hand it off. No, fake the handoff. Keep it himself and run it into the end zone. Great job. He fooled me on the fake. And the 2-point conversion is good by Dower. Our score, Lorain 20, Elyria nothing. So Lorain that time calls timeout when Elyria is getting ready to punt the ball to keep 1:56 on the clock, and it paid huge dividends. As I think you've got that there, Gary, when you're done adding up the math on how many plays and yards Lorain covered in less than, well, there's 55 on the clock, so it had been just a little over 60 seconds. Lorain marched it 2/3 of the field to put up their 3rd touchdown of the afternoon.
76 yards in 4 plays.
Oh, my. You're going to win a lot of football games with those kind of numbers.
That's a pretty effective offense right there. The big one being picking up 36 yards on the big pass play.
The Elyria crowd is quiet where we're sitting on the home side press box. They've not had much to cheer about. It's been all Lorain Titans today. Onside kick, Lorain, and it hits a Titan. It didn't go 10 yards either. Let's see who's on the bottom of the pile, though. And players are still fighting for it. There's 5 or 6 guys, Titans and Pioneers alike.
Well, it's going to end up being Elyria's ball anyways because it
didn't go
10. Didn't go 10 yards.
I don't know why they're fighting for the ball, but on the bottom of the pile, we'll give them a plug here. Jazarian Cannon, the sophomore for Elyria. And that was definitely a dog pile on Cannon.
Speaking of plugs,
yes.
I want to let everybody know that this ball game is going to be on Lorain City Schools television. Joe Bach is here today putting the video together, and he'll have it up on the site in just a couple of days, I'm sure.
Does Joe Bach ever age? This guy looks like the day when I knew him back in high school.
I don't think he ever ages, and I don't think he ever stops working.
No. Yeah. Joe is tireless. He does a lot for what he does with the television, the sports for Lorain City Schools.
And the other events as well, everything for the television. He covers a lot of stuff out there.
Elyria on a end-around halfback pass, throws the interception, picked off by the Titans' Devontae Jackson at the 40. Jackson then returns the interception over the 50 into Pioneer territory and tackled down at the 42. And I think that was Atkinson that threw that pass. They flipped it to him on the end around, and he came back and threw the pass. And that was just a poorly thrown ball. There was not a black-shirted Pioneer anywhere in the vicinity. So Lorain gets the takeaway. 11 seconds elapsed off the clock. And why is that important? Well, because as Gary Pelder just pointed out, that last Lorain drive was 4 plays and a touchdown in about a minute.
And Lorain still has 1 timeout left as
yes.
well.
This is a scary moment for Elyria. This is where the game could slip away worse than it has. Jackson takes the deep snap for Lorain, rolls to his right, throws it downfield, has a guy at the 15, making the grab. Evans at the 5, touchdown, Lorain Titans. Just like that, bada bing. Oh my, a 43-yard strike. 1 play, 6 seconds. Make that 7 seconds. Over the shoulder catch in tight coverage by Zach Evans. And Lorain now their 4th touchdown of the afternoon.
And if you're Coach Arno, that is not what you want to see on the other side for Elyria.
43-yard pass.
Titans with 2 scores here in the last less than a minute, actually.
Lorain going for 2, up by 4 touchdowns now, 26-zip. They'll line it up. Jackson keeping the football, can't believe how open he is, wants to pass the ball instead of just running it in, and throws an incompleter. Trying to get the 2-point conversion dumped off to Cario Edwards. He had enough room, he could have just ran that in. I don't understand why he was trying to pass that.
I think maybe he was almost surprised he was so wide open there. And of course, if you're you want your quarterback to have that pass first mentality. You don't want him to have the run first mentality. If he thinks he can throw it down there, unless it's a called run, of course. But I think he thought he could get it in there, and just didn't happen. That's going to be one of those things they look at on the film and just say, hey, you probably should have just taken it.
I give this young man, though, credit. I like what you said there. The discipline to know this is the play that was called, this is what we want to run. And I don't know that freelancing too much under head coach Dave McFarland is going to get you a lot of traction as a high school player. So it's one of those situations you do what's called.
Well, you are correct, but it's not freelancing if it's the right decision. So, but like I said, I'm sure that's something they're going to look at the films and say, hey, well, this might be an opportunity for you to just tuck it and go. So
this is another Lorain High School Echo Tree Services kickoff. Lorain, offsides on the kick. We'll do it again. Mark Rodriguez, that time bounced it along the surface of the field.
I think he gave a little bit of a stutter step there, and a couple of his coverage team got over the line.
Well, Matt Lodi is on the Pioneer sideline here. Before we go into halftime, he's going to get a couple of words with Elyria head coach Sean Arno. The Lorain Titans, though, dominating this first half of football here this afternoon from Ely Stadium, leading the home team, the Elyria High School Pioneers, 26-0.
Everyone's giving Coach Arno a lot of room down there right now.
I don't know who you want to give more room to, him or Al Young at Black River. Oh, man, when things aren't going your way. I don't think that's one of those moments where a kid should ever say, hey, you going to put me in, Coach?
Yeah, there's not a player within 6-7 yards of him right now.
So Lorain following the offsides on their last Echo Tree Services kickoff will boot it from their own 35. Again, low line drive, squib kick, and it dribbles out of bounds at the Pioneer 32-yard line. 34 seconds left, really. Isn't it really just best right now for Elyria just to take an ego into the locker room and regroup here?
I would think.
I mean, Lorain has.
If they don't take the knee, just the handoff to the fullback and see if he can pick up a couple up the middle. But I wouldn't be looking for any trickeration at this particular juncture.
I love that great word, trickeration. And here's a great word too.
I'm not even sure that's really a word.
And we can. Well, this is a word. The Gallon Takis Boysenalt Schaefer halftime show awaits us here in 34 seconds. Gallon Takis Boysenalt Schaefer halftime show. Very windy, rainy affair today. The two bands are ready to take the field for halftime. The Lorain Titans, being the visiting school here today, will perform first, and then the always famous, always renowned Elyria Band. Two good bands today. Lorain does a great job, Elyria too. And let's see what the Pioneers do here with 1st and 10 from their own 30. They'll keep it on the ground, and the running back hit hard. Atkinson bounced sideways and then tackled right at the line of scrimmage after a short gain. Clock keeps going down here. Might be the last play of the half, and that would be merciful for the Pioneers here after the first 24 minutes.
I think that was their goal right there. Hand it off, get the clock started, and get this second quarter run out and get into the locker room and regroup.
And our Stewart's TV and Appliance sideline reporter, field man extraordinaire Matt Lodi, is waiting to get Sean Arno as he comes off the field.
And at halftime.
And here we go, Matt.
Okay, thank you very much, Z. First of all, Coach, tell me a little bit about Lorain's offense, what they've done to kind of get things going here today.
Well, they're good. Obviously, they've done some great things when they hit that fade in the end. But our problem is we can't do anything offensively, and we've left them on the field. Our defense has done a very good job, actually, and they've stopped it multiple times. And we just keep giving the ball back. We just can't. We're not executing on offense.
When you talk about execution, is it little things? I mean, is it just detail? I mean, what do you guys got to do different?
It's a bunch of stuff, and we have to change some things. So we're going to look at what we can do to make things better. That's all.
Okay, thank you. That is Coach Arno here at halftime. 26-0 in favor of the Titans. We hope to get Coach McFarland coming out of the locker room to start the second half.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community, while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. I'm sitting here in the beautiful Sound Kitchen recording studios in Franklin, Tennessee. Did you know that for over 90 years, the American Legion Auxiliary has provided comfort, care, and scholarships for our military veterans and their families? There continues to be a great need for scholarships for the children of our military veterans, as well as outreach for our wartime veterans and their families. Please join me in making a generous donation to the American Legion Auxiliary Foundation.
All right, welcome back to Ely Stadium here. Matt Lodi along with Titans head coach Dave McFarland. Coach, first of all, first half impressions. Your kids built a nice lead.
Well, I'm real proud of our kids. I mean, it's kind of a crappy day. It's wet and rainy, and we're trying to do the right things, and they're playing hard, so what more can you ask for?
What do you think about your defense? Obviously, I think it's 25 total yards for Elyria. You guys have done just about everything right. Got the big interception right before the half, and then was able to get that late touchdown.
Well, I'm proud of our defense. I thought they've played well all year, and obviously we got to have another good half of defense.
As far as the hurry up is concerned, it seems like your offense, the speed factor is really what's kind of drawing them in, and you guys are able to get some big chunks of yards for your running backs.
Yeah, well, we like to go fast, always have, and Jordan, we haven't gone fast with Jordan, but we are this week, and he's doing a good job.
Great, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, it's for a nicer day, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gonna get some big ones. Anybody want to wear a life jacket?
I'm good.
No life jacket? That's a deal breaker.
Daddy, you promised.
Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, give me one of those life jackets.
This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council and the women who nag you. Love you.
Malik Holt, the Pioneer kicker, has it lined up at his own 40. He'll step it off.
I never thought of myself that way, Z.
I have what it's hot. I feel like a meatloaf dripping in hot gravy. Anyway, this Echo Tree Services kickoff is about to take place. And Lorain, up by 4 touchdowns, gets the football. So Elyria is going to need to get a defensive stop here on this series. The Titans field it at their own 18. It's Lighty right up the straight part of the field, up the middle, breaks free at the 40. Lighty to the outside, down the sideline to the 30. On his feet, Lighty to the 20, to the 15, brought down from behind at the 14-yard line. Lighty with an over 50-yard return there sets the Titans offense up in really keen shape inside the Pioneer red zone. Elyria's woes continue right out of the locker room.
Well, I'll tell you what, Z. I said at the halftime, I said one of the keys for Elyria is they're going to have to come out and get a stop right off the bat. And they're making things hard for themselves right off the bat here, guys.
Jordan Jackson, the quarterback, gives it off to Chavis. Chavis, big hole right up the middle. Untouched into the end zone. He bumped into a few tacklers at the 10 and the 5, but it's a Titan score. 6 more for Lorain High School, 32-zip. Following that 5th touchdown of the afternoon by the Lorain offense.
All right, I want to let you know this, Z. The last 3 Titans possessions, one has been a 4-play touchdown drive, then a 1-play touchdown drive, then another 1-play touchdown drive.
11 minutes, 43 seconds. We're only 17 seconds into the second half. Lorain with a huge kickoff return to start the third quarter out of Lighty. And then the big back, Savon Chavis, 6'1", 227, gets it to the house. So Rodriguez, in a rare instance here, is going to try to kick the extra point for Lorain, and does so. Wow, look at that. Titans 33, Elyria zip. So the Pioneers, well, at least they'll get their hands on the football, but not before they gave up another quick score.
And like you said, quick is the key word right there. 17 seconds have come off the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, this game will now be played.
We want to make sure you stay with us in our post-game show today. We will bring you our U.S. Army Recruiting Team Strength Award, along with our Lorain County Community College Player of the Game. You and I will need to start thinking about those things here as the second half winds its way along on this Saturday afternoon. Titans ready to kick it off. And when they do, well, we have to thank Echo Tree Services for sponsoring all of our kickoffs here today. Lorain 33, Elyria nothing.
Back deep for the Pioneers, number 10, the Davian Drummer, number 11, Aaron Frost.
Drummer and Frost, as you heard by the public address announcer, are the two Elyria Pioneers back at their own 10, awaiting the kick by Rodriguez. Lorain won their opener against Midview this season, 44-14, and then lost on the road to Euclid, 42-21. There's an onside kick, a short one. The up man, Dorn, fields it again. I think that's the second time today he's done that. Fielded the short kick. Pioneer offense will get good field position here, starting at their own 48-yard line. Well, now you know it's wet when the cheerleaders put on their rain ponchos. That's when it's official.
The rain is officially here.
Well, you can't tell that to these. Well, actually, they went down underneath, two young men from Elyria with no shirts on and their chest painted with some of the letters Elyria. Wow. Lorain gets into the backfield. The ball carrier for Elyria, Atkinson, in trouble, and he steamrolled for a huge loss. Blocking, what blocking? Lorain is just pouring through everywhere now. Shooting the gaps, just shucking the lineman for Elyria at will at times, it seems like. Atkinson was looking at no less than 4 white-shirted Titan defenders as soon as he got the ball.
Tell you what, Z, that was only a 4-yard loss, but it seemed a whole lot worse.
It does, doesn't it? Jermel Nolan, with 4 wide receivers for this Elyria offense, will hand it off on the sweep. The give is to Drummer. Drummer at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go, cuts back against the grain, and then upfield he goes for maybe 3 or 4 yards, based mostly on second effort, but it's still third and a long way to go for this Pioneers offense.
Yeah, third down, and it's going to be about 12 yards for the Pioneers. And once again, the Pioneers, they need to find something they can do successfully offensively to move the ball down the field and get some yardage, get some first downs. And right now, that's going to be a tough nut to crack, 3rd and 12.
Lorain's showing pressure. The linebacker getting up to the line of scrimmage. Here's what happened, I think, on that one, folks. Offsides, Lorain. Kelvin Torres, he came up to the line of scrimmage, and I think he tripped over the foot of the right defensive end and stumbled into the neutral zone.
Well, whatever he did, it helped Elyria out. It's going to move him up 5 more yards and make it a 3rd and 7 situation.
And we have a pretty heavy rain now. I mean, it's been coming down the entire game, but now it's a steady, hard, cold rain. 3rd and 3 for the Pioneers. 7 yards to go. And for the Pioneers, they'll keep it on the ground. It's Drummer. Drummer into the Titans 40, down to the Titans 35, and wrestled down by Lorain at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, one of the best plays in over almost 2 quarters, actually, for the Pioneer offense.
And they got that first down that they needed.
Got a couple of Lorain players looking at each other talking right now. Jackson, that's Devontae Jackson, and Manning are talking things over. Manning's playing corner right now at 6'3", 195. He'll step up into the slot to guard a Pioneer receiver as Elyria lines up in their passing formation. Bad snap, and the shotgun skips along the surface of the field, and the quarterback, Nolan, was able to somehow pick it up and lost maybe a half a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 for Elyria. Clock running, 8:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 33-0, the Pioneers trailing at the hands of Lorain High. Just a stupendous effort today by the Lorain Titans here on the road in this border war with Elyria. High school football border war. There's a handoff. Atkinson, we haven't called his name much. He tries to get around and stays on his feet, takes the pile because they didn't tackle him by his legs, and Atkinson down inside the Titan 25 gets a nifty carry and is just about 2 yards short, a long 2, from picking up the first down.
He's going to pick up about 9 yards because that was a After the first play, there was a loss of yardage, so it was a 2nd down and 11. He picked up about 9 to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Setting this Elyria offense right now, Jermel Nolan at quarterback. Jaheim Atkinson and Davion Drummer are the backs. Tackles on the line, Chris King and Kobe Thomas. Elyria runs the football once more. Atkinson looking for a hole, and there's nowhere to go. Gains 1, maybe. Right there, a host of Lorain Titans to make the stop. Nate Melendez was there. And I didn't catch the other player. They unpiled so quickly. But you know who's played a good game is Kelvin Torres for Lorain.
4th down and 3 for the Pioneers.
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Torres and company on defense for Lorain have held Elyria here to a 4th down conversion opportunity. 4th and 2 at the Lorain 23 for the Elyria offense. And the give goes to the running back Drummer, who gets the 1st down at the 20 and finally wrapped up near the 15-yard line by the defensive end, Zach Evans. Evans did a good job staying home. If he gets sucked inside, that may be a play where Drummer bounces it outside and gets into the end zone.
313-469.
They're going to give him a pickup of 5 and pick up the 1st down. And Elyria, well, they're doing what they got to do.
Coming into the game, Pioneers scoring it's been at a premium. 2 touchdowns in week 1 and a loss to Avon Lake, and then shut out a week ago against Bedford. And now the Pioneers once more keeping the running attack going. Atkinson wrapped up at the 11-yard line by Cairo Smith. Smith, a senior, 5'10", 210. Have him listed as a free safety. 5:23 and counting in the 3rd quarter. It's all Lorain High School, 33-zip over the Pioneers, but now Elyria looking to get some points on the scoreboard. The receivers will be Thomas and Frost up to the long side of the field. The handoff is going to go directly to, on the snap rather, direct snap to Davion Drummer. Lighty wraps him up right around the 7. Elyria can get it to the 5.5-yard line to pick up the 1st without getting it into the end zone. But they haven't set the yard marker yet. So it's actually 3rd down. Our guy on the line, chain crew, they're a little slow to flip it over. Now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 2 for the Pioneer offense at the Lorain 7. So Atkinson has the football, tries to get himself into the end zone at the 3 and runs into a couple of Titan defenders. Tyshawn Lighty came up from a secondary position along with Devontae Jackson, the corner.
But he's going to come up with a 1st down and give the Pioneers 4 more cracks inside the 5-yard line. Ball on the 3 right now.
33-0. We have a running clock now as our point differential has exceeded 30 points, which is the rule in high school football in the state of Ohio. Elyria looking to try to get that clock stopped. Maybe get back in this game if they can. So Elyria with a football, knocking on Lorain's end zone. There's the give to Atkinson. Atkinson at the 2. He fumbles the ball into the end zone. Lorain gets it back. Just as Elyria looked like they would get their 1st points of the day and their 1st touchdown in 2 weeks, they fumble the ball right at the plane. Wow. The ball carrier coughs it up for Elyria, and the Titans get another takeaway defensively. And that is just a sad state of affairs right now for the Elyria fans who remain in the seats here at Ely Stadium.
The Titan defense comes up with a big play, and that one really couldn't have worked out much better for them because they get the touchback and they're going to bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. And Titans start from the 20 as opposed to a fumble on the 1-yard line or something where they would have been backed up.
Keep an eye on Tyshawn Lighty. He lines up in the backfield. On the deep snap, the quarterback for Lorain will give it to Lighty, and there's a huge hole. Great job by the center and guard. Gets Lighty into the secondary up near the 27 to the 28-yard line. Spun down there after a nice first down carry by Leidy. Titans just keeping it on the ground, grinding it away. 33-0. They're up and looking for more on Elyria. Jackson reads the Pioneer defense, which he's done a great job of all game long. Pioneers now bring 4 linebackers up into the box. Dive fake. Jackson unloads, has a man wide open. Evans at the 45 of Elyria and overthrows the ball.
Coverage by number 6.
Well, Evans started to break open as he was releasing the football, and then Evans broke it to the inside, and they weren't on the same page quite with that one.
Here's a rare scene. It looks like the Lorain offense will snap to the quarterback who's under center. It's a pitch, and it's Dower at the 20. Breaks a tackle there, goes to the outside, has a lot of room down the sideline. 40 to midfield, 45 deep into Pioneer territory goes Dower. The running back for Lorain, driven out of bounds right around the 37-yard line. Don't look now, but the Titans are marching downfield yet again here this Saturday afternoon. Lorain already on top, 33-0. Minute 42 to go in the quarter. Under a steady rain, here come the Titans. They'll line it up in Elyria territory. Head coach Dave McFarland now. The hood up on that hooded sweatshirt. The quarterback is hit. He's separated from the ball. It's fumbled, and the Pioneers get it back. Tyron Lee falls on the ball, and I think you caught the number of that truck that just blasted Jordan Jackson, the Titan quarterback, on the blitz.
I'll tell you what, they came back there, and that was Michael Knapp, number 34, came through there, and wow, he just blasted him. I don't know if there was a misconnection on a handoff there, but quarterback back there was left holding the ball, Jackson, and he just was a target. He was standing there like a statue, just holding the ball at his waist, and next thing you knew, bam, he was getting plowed into and driven into the ground, and the ball's laying out there. Elyria gets the ball back on the Lorain 47-yard line.
So let's see what the Pioneers can do with this newfound momentum after the quarterback sack and fumble they've just forced a moment ago. Pioneers running the football, and it's Drummer at the 45 and takes on a defender at the 40-yard line. Went head-to-head with him. No loss of fight in that young man as he's still battling, as are the Pioneers offensively right now. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. This could well be, for intent and purposes, the last snap of the third period. Elyria trailing by 5 touchdowns. The give to Atkinson. His number called again. Atkinson kind of flies out towards the sideline, and he's dropped there by Cairo Smith, the 210-pound linebacker for Lorain. Good technique by Smith that time. Got his body out in front of the ball carrier, brought him down. I'm impressed with the pursuit speed of this Lorain defense, too. They can really string out the line of scrimmage. We'll go down to Matt Lodi here. And this is going to be it for the quarter. Elyria gets the play off. Handoff
Number 5
is going to be Atkinson. So that's the final play of the third quarter. We'll switch ends, and what we'll do is we're going to send it back, Matt, for a station break, and then we'll catch you to start the fourth quarter with the Pioneers trailing Lorain 33-0 on this, the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash, streaming this Saturday afternoon on WEOL.com.
Hi, my name is Denary Perkins Hammonds. I'm 17 years old and in 10th grade at Lorain High School. I'm studying graphic design through Lorain High's Career Tech Education program. I started the program this year because I like making things on computers. We've made calendars, movie posters, book covers, and CD covers. I like the creativity component. Our teacher, Mr. Pappas, is showing us how to use Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. These software programs allow me to recreate images and make images of my own design. When you walk into our class, you'll see students showing their creativity on the computers through those programs. Everyone's on task and really focused. Overall, the class is pretty good, and Pappas gives a demonstration of each project. I'm in graphic Graphic Design 1 this year, and next year I'll be taking Graphics 2. I'm excited about it. If you're creative and like to be able to express your ideas without any limits, then this is the program for you. I'm pretty sure that this is what I want to do one day, and it's all thanks to Lorain High's Career Tech Graphic Design program.
Welcome back to Ely Stadium here in Elyria. Matt Lodi with you on the sidelines as, again, we start the fourth quarter with the Titans up 33-0. And, guys, the rain has been very, very steady here in the second half. You could sense that not only has it been difficult for the players, but the fans as well. A lot of them have already departed here from the vicinity, but Lorain certainly doing what they can to try to finish this off and take home another win. Guys?
Elyria wants to throw here on third down, and the quarterback, Nolan, is in trouble. He has to run, and he's forced right into a couple of Titan defenders. This will now make it a fourth down call for the Elyria Pioneers, and of course it's 4-down territory now. Matt Lodi's report there was courtesy of Stewart's TV and Appliance in Elyria. 11-19 on the scoreboard here.
It's a 4th down and 6 situation for the Pioneers. We've got the ball on the Lorain 32-yard line. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of anticipating a run here. They've had some success running the football to the outside here in the second half, guys.
And Elyria will go topside, dump off the screen. Nolan does to Drummer. Drummer free in the flat to the 30. Drummer down the sideline, 20, 10-5. Touchdown Elyria, but wait a minute. They're going to say he stepped out at the 16. Oh. Dower thought for a minute he had it as he turned the corner. He bounced it outside and stepped on the white paint there. But that's good enough for a Pioneer first down. So for the second time here in the last couple of minutes, Elyria is looking to get on the scoreboard and erase that goose egg that's been next to their name the whole ball game. It's a first down play for the Pioneers. And the dive handoff goes to Drummer. Drummer wants to run off right tackle and picks up a couple. Kobe Thomas, the sophomore, blocking out front at 6'3", 290. And looking at this Elyria offense, the number of players that were starters a year ago, when you count it 1 through 11, we really, what was given to us, we have 5 guys that were starters a year ago, so you've got a lot of new faces in this offense. Not to mention those players that are shuttling in and out of the lineup during the course of the game. There's a dive, nowhere to go for Atkinson. He's bottled up, and then he wants to skirt to the outside, and that was a smart move as Atkinson was able to get a couple of yards on that carry. But now it's going to be third down just the same, tackled at the 11 by the Titans defense. 9 minutes and 20 seconds remain in our ball game here this Saturday afternoon. Elyria looking to avoid the shutout, trailing Lorain 33-0 right now at this point of our ball game. This is a neat move. Atkinson's going to line up as a third receiver in a 5-receiver set. Instead, the Pioneers will run. Drummer takes the handoff. Drummer to the 5, angling towards the pylon, and he's knocked out of bounds. No! Touchdown, Elyria! The back judge looked like he ran up. He stood on the yard marker and signaled touchdown Pioneers. The rest of the referees weren't signaling. So, Elyria gets officially, how will we mark this here? Was that a 16-yard carry for the Pioneers?
Yeah,
no penalty markers. I'm hesitating because every time we've had a big play for Elyria today, there's been a marker or a flag down on the field. But that's a clean play. That 6 stays on the scoreboard. And the band loves it from Elyria. Pioneers ready to attempt the extra point. Holt. And as soon as he gets in the crouch, ready to approach a snap, the back judge runs up to the line of scrimmage, blowing his whistle.
Attempt the extra point, number 83, Malik Holt.
According to my stat sheet, 8 plays, 53 yards for the Pioneers.
The kick is blocked at the line of scrimmage. No good. And
it's good.
Oh, wait, it went through.
It was good.
I need a windshield wiper on this window here. Oh, Coach Sunigal to my right here. He loved that one. No good. That's good. Oh, but he got it. All right, and I'm getting my chops busted royal up here. I got the roof post, the water droplets on the window. I can't buy a break, can I?
When in doubt, look for the guys in those striped jerseys.
Honestly, folks, in the Elyria press box here, I wasn't trying to cheat you out of that point after. So Elyria now makes it 33-7. That means the clock will stop along normal rules and guidelines of the game of high school football. No more running clock, as Elyria has trimmed that lead to 26 now. You gotta like to see this here, the big Elyria flag being carried down the running track.
It's getting heavy. It's dragging on the ground. They don't really want to do that.
They need somebody to carry the flag like a wedding dress train here. And they're just going to let them drag the flag down the all-weather track.
I don't think that's the way that's supposed to happen.
And then he just threw the flag down in the turn. He'd had enough. It got so wet and heavy. Whoever that is for the Pioneer Marching Band, his hands are on his knees. And he said, I've had enough of that flag. This kickoff by the Pioneers, brought to you by Echo Tree Services. Elyria down by 26, 33-7. That's a short kick, and it's fielded on the fly over the shoulder by Jackson. Devontae Jackson takes this ball to the 35. Jackson spins out of a tackle at the 40, up to the 45. And an inspired return by him near midfield. So Lorain will have great position here when they snap the ball, and we have a Pioneer down. It's unfortunate to see at the 47. You got a player holding his left hamstring. Not quite sure what will be the situation here. It's a wild card timeout for us, though, with the Pioneers down to a Lorain by a 33-7 count. We'll bring it back here after these words on the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash, streaming live today on WEOL.com.
Veterans benefits earned through your service in the National Guard or Reserve can offer a range of support.
I wouldn't be here today as a successful woman without the help that I received.
From home loans to job training, go to benefits.va.gov/Guard Reserve to find out more, even how to apply online using eBenefits.
This is one of the best things I ever did in my life. We were very fortunate to have these benefits, so we definitely ought to use them.
Achieve your next mission. Learn about your VA benefits today.
Lorain has the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 45 on the deep pitch. And that play is ill-fated from the start. Charging across the line for the Pioneers. Michael Knapp gets the ball carrier of Lorain for a huge loss. The only time tonight that the Pioneers really have had Dalen Dower's number was on that play. That's a loss of almost 10. It's an uncharacteristic deep snap on the sweep, though, too, by Lorain. Second down play on deck. Lorain wants to pass the football, surveying the defense, still looking, throwing is Jackson, and it's a one-hand grab drop by Lighty at the Pioneer 30. That would have been a tremendous catch if he could have pulled it in. You got to give some credit, though, Gary, to Noah France, the senior, 6'3", 200 for Elyria, flew up from his secondary position to break that play up.
Well, yeah, I give credit out there to a lot of guys. Lighty for not losing his cool and kept up with that play and tried to get it down the field to Jackson, and Jackson for paying attention, and then France eventually break it up.
Titans football. The quarterback, Jackson, dips his shoulder to fake, looking to throw. Can't get a read on the defense, and he's brought down for a sack. Elyria did a terrific job of containing the quarterback and then just pushing the pocket in around him. That's another big loss.
It's going to be about another -8.
And a huge defensive series by Elyria, their best of the game. But is it too that maybe now the Lorain team has let up just a little bit here, as they know there's 7.5 to go in the game and they're up comfortably, and you'd hate to think that's the case. Direct snap to Dower. Dalen Dower to the 35. Dower has a lot of room to the 45-50. Dower down the sideline. They'll twit and tweet this all night long. See you on Facebook. Dower to the house. 67 yards. And Lorain gets yet another touchdown here this afternoon. Dalen Dower takes the direct snap, reads the blocking, and just follows everybody upfield, turns on the afterburners, kicks it to the outside, and he's into the south end zone for Lorain High.
Well, it was an interesting drive for Lorain. It was 3 plays for 67 yards. They went -8, -8, and plus 67.
Interesting, Dust. Surrealistic. That's like an X-File, that type of series when you look at that on paper and how that reads. 7:15 officially remaining in the game when you score that touchdown by Dalen Dower. And that is Mr. Dower's second touchdown here today. Lorain will look to kick this extra point. The snap and placement. Okay, hang on to your hats, everybody here in the press box. It's good. I got it right. It's good. It's good. All right. So there's our score now. Lorain 40, Elyria 7. We'll return here to the Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash right after this on WEOL.com.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
The Titans answer Elyria's touchdown here in the fourth quarter with their own. A 3-play, 67-yard drive. Dalen Dower on his 19th carry of the day scampered 67 yards to the south end zone at our right. That gives him 240 yards on the afternoon, and Lorain pushes the lead back out to 33 at 40-7 over Elyria. Short kick, downed right at the 35 by the Pioneers, and that's where they'll have it. Play clock will start as soon as the ball is snapped, and then the running clock will resume here in the fourth quarter. It's just been a boondog of statistics today for this Lorain offense, and I think when you look tomorrow, you could see almost 500 yards of total offense. What do you think, Gary Pelder?
Well, I know one thing for certain. I've got some numbers from over here from Tim Gebhardt from the Elyria Chronicle Telegram. Dower with 19 carries for 240 yards on the afternoon. That's a good day in anybody's book.
Absolutely. The voice there was that of our color commentator and analyst Gary Pelter. I'm Z Zoltai. We have Matt Lodi down on the field braving the elements. Lorain on defense coming after the Elyria quarterback, and he was in trouble. Tried to dump it off on the release to a Davion Drummer, and it was incomplete over there on the Lorain sideline. Of course, the Sealy Stadium complex still under construction. The field is done, the seating is done, but the all-weather track still under construction, and there's a lot of open earth and a lot of bulldozer work and fields that need to be put in yet as the different phases of the new Elyria High School athletic complex continue along their course of construction. 6 minutes left in the football game. Pioneers have the pigskin at their own 35. Fumbled snap by the quarterback of the Pioneers, and he alertly just falls on the ball. He'll be tapped down there by the Titans' Isaiah McDowell. Now, the next time Lorain comes out on the field, do we maybe see some fresh faces for Lorain High?
You know, I would think they'll probably bring some fresh faces in. I don't know if it'll be the wholesale changes. We'll see with this clock rolling down here right now. It's all the way down to 5:23 in the fourth quarter. So quite honestly, if Leary could get a first down here, they might run the clock out.
Leary breaks the huddle. Down by 33, they snap the ball, and quickly Coach Arno of Elyria calls timeout. Now we'll pass this along actually to our listeners. We do have a crowd microphone. We are wired for sound for the crowd today, but where we're sitting, on the Elyria side of Ely Stadium. There's not been much for the crowd to cheer or talk about. Not only has the play on the field not worked in their team's favor, but the weather has chased off about 80% of the people that started the game in the seats.
I think the biggest thing we heard so far from the crowd from Elyria was when they had that kick return and the flag threw and the groan from the crowd.
Yeah, because they knew it was going to come back. I think right now we're only looking at a couple of dozen people in the stands. And, you know, on the Lorain side, the band is still there for the Titans, but really there's maybe only 3 dozen people sitting in raincoats and umbrellas there. It just turned into a very tough game for an outdoor spectator sport if you're going to sit and watch, especially when the game has really turned into a one-sided affair, in this instance in favor of Lorain. Now the clock did stop for whatever it is that we did. We had the timeout. It was a long timeout. And now the referee will wind up the scoreboard, and we're ticking down again here in the fourth quarter. Pioneers again go topside, looking to throw, wanting to pass. Is Nolan. Now he's being chased, throws it, and almost completes it at the 39, but overshoots Aaron Frost right there. Frost was covered really close by Anthony Harley. It's the second time we've called Harley's name, a junior, 189-pounder for Lorain. Pioneers now staring at a 4th and 15, so they're going to have to get rid of this ball. They'll snap and punt it from their own 30.
Back deep to punt for the Pioneers, number 9, Isaiah Thomas.
Thomas standing at his 15 to take the snap. Lorain is going to finally put somebody back for a minute. I didn't think they were going to try to set up to return the ball. Adrian Mills at his own 38.
I don't know if they really believed that Elyria was going to punt it, to tell you the truth.
Pioneers switching personnel with 6 seconds left on the snap clock. They're going to have to get this off and do with 2 seconds left. And the punt is kind of a low affair, and it rolls along the field and will be downed at the 30-yard line of Lorain. So that's where the Titans will put it in play. 1st and 10 when we resume things here after the defense comes onto the field.
And we're down to 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
Elyria Pioneers are going to drop to 0-3 here on the season. Lorain about to improve their record to 2-1. Matt Lodi will work and do his best to get a word edgewise with head coach Dave McFarland of Lorain. We'll put the headphones on him and hopefully get a chance to talk with Coach McFarland. Huddle clock at 19. And a new quarterback for Lorain. There's the long handoff, and the give goes to the deep back, Anthony Harley's first carry of the game, according to my stat sheet. Harley picks up 9. The quarterback for Lorain is Devontae Jackson. So Jordan Jackson called the signals most of the game, and now the other Jackson, Devontae, and the junior, 6'1", 175. I'd have to believe these young men are related. Second,
I have no knowledge either way.
2nd and 3 for Lorain. Under center is Devontae Jackson. He hands the ball off the tailback with a huge gain for the Titans. 10, 12, 15 yards. And that looked like Mike Smith on the carry. Compact 5'11", 203. But he does a terrific job after the snap of getting to the hole and squaring his shoulders.
He picked up big 15-yard pickup and a first down for the Titans, keeping the chains moving.
Lorain comfortably in front of Elyria, 40-7 here in our Cleveland Clinic Gridiron Clash. Cleveland Clinic offering the latest treatment options in Lorain County for knee or hip pain. Call 440-204-7800 for an appointment. And the rock is handed off to Anthony Harley again, the junior. This time, not so fortunate like his last carry. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage, nailed cold by the Pioneer defenders.
No gain on the play.
Rain now. Faced with a 2nd and 10. They're just looking to take time off the clock. I think everybody's eager to get on the bus and go home here.
1:55 and counting.
We have 13 seconds on the huddle clock, and Lorain quarterback Devontae Jackson goes over to the Titan sideline, confirms the play with a member of the coaching staff. looks up at the scoreboard, sees he has 3 seconds, snaps it with a second left on the huddle clock. Quarterback option on the pitch out, and this is a big play. Taking the ball is Harley. Harley then is hit, and hit hard. Everybody's slow to get up, but he picks up the first down at the 40, and Harley advances the football down to the Pioneer 37-yard line, and he went head-to-head with Cameron. Well,
that ball was knocked out of there.
Was one of the players.
It was knocked out of there, and Sam Clark picked it up for the Titans. Retained possession there as they move it along.
That'll get you a sticker on the helmet.
Picked up 14 yards on the run, the fumble, and the recovery.
There's enough time for one play, maybe two, as we're inside a minute to go in the football game.
Titans in the eye.
Yeah, Lorain's going to win this ball game here. Now the Pioneers are just trying to strip the ball away from Mike Smith, who takes the handoff. The Lorain Titans, now in the modern era, as you can call it, in this Lorain-Elyria rivalry, will improve to 3 wins against 2 losses since they renewed this matchup back in 2014. So, in the 105th meeting of these two schools, the Lorain Titans are victorious here on this rain-soaked Saturday afternoon, and they do it in style, 40-7 over the Elyria Pioneers. Elyria continues to look for their first win of the 2018 season.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.